Hello everybody, Toshi the Panda back at it again with another reaction video. This time it's gonna be for the new Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer that just dropped. I'll give my overall thoughts on this when I'm done with the reaction, so let's just get on with it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, good way to start the trailer, giant swinging fireballs. Hey! That's definitely Bowser's ship.
Behold, the King of the Koopas!
I gotta say, the animation already looks pretty good.
Open the gates!
Okay, not a bad Bowser voice. Sounds pretty good. Penguins.
Attack!
Okay, well you got one of them.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield?
Oh, bless their hearts, they tried.
I do not.
They failed, but they tried.
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
And there's our titular character. I gotta say, this already looks a million times better than the 80s movie.
What is this place?
Touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
You sure about that one?
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
Okay, not bad. Not bad. This looks pretty good. Oh, Luigi's in it too. Cool. So yeah, that was the trailer for the new Super Mario Bros. Movie coming out next year. According to the final screen, it's in March, the 30th. So yeah, that's interesting. So my thoughts on this. Well, I was not born at the time, but later on I did see the original Super Mario Bros. Movie, as well as internet reviews of it, and I have to say, that movie was terrible, like really, really bad, and it kind of missed the mark of the games entirely. It was a big disappointment for me, especially because back when I was a kid, I was more of a fan of Mario than any other gaming franchise. I mean, I did like Kirby too, but I liked Mario more when I was a kid. Nowadays, now that I'm an adult, my interests have changed. Before, it was like I liked Mario more than Sonic. Now, as an adult, I like Sonic more than Mario. So, that's why hearing about this movie, I wasn't too enthusiastic about it. I mean, it's not like I hate the Mario Brothers franchise. I have some Mario games that I play from time to time. It's just that I'm not the biggest fan of it like I used to be when I was a kid. But seeing this trailer, I gotta say, it looks like they're finally taking a stab at making a new Mario Brothers movie, and this time actually making a good Mario Brothers movie. I think the biggest change and the biggest improvement is that it's animated. I don't think I ever said this before, but I'll say it now. If you're going to adapt a video game into a movie, if you're going to make it live action, you have to at least try to make it work somehow. Mario Brothers did not work, like, at all, okay? The live action thing worked well with Detective Pikachu, and it worked especially well with the Sonic movies, but to be honest, those feel like franchises that can translate into live action pretty well. I mean, going back to Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon, they looked they looked fairly realistic, but they still looked cartoony and a little bit fantasy-esque, so that you can believe, oh, these creatures, they can exist in the world the movie created, but they're still fake in a sense. They just look real enough to fit in the universe that they were built into. It works. But with Mario Brothers, looking at the world that the Mario games established, that's a world that I don't think can translate properly into live action. That has to be animated. It has to be animated. It's like with all those weird Dr. Seuss movies. I think the live action ones, their biggest problem is trying to take something that should be animated and just make it live action. It doesn't work. It doesn't translate well. So that's the first big improvement with this new Mario movie coming out. They're making it fully animated with 3D animation, and the animation actually looks pretty good. It looks smooth, it looks clean, it looks flowing, it moves, it's very energetic, a lot of stuff on screen all at once. But it worked well. But, with any movie, animated or otherwise, the single most important thing is the story. If the original Mario Brothers movie just looked bad but had an interesting story, it probably would have gotten at least a passing grade of a B minus if we're talking about that in terms of that style. But no, on top of looking terrible, it also was terrible. It did not have a good story, it did not have good dialogue, it did not have well-written characters. That's another reason why it flopped so dang hard. This movie, it looks great. It looks exactly like the Mario Brothers games. But like I said when I reacted to the new and improved trailer for the first Sonic movie, just cause it looks like the games doesn't mean it's going to be good. That's the exact same thing that I said when I saw that they redesigned Sonic from the first ugly design and made him what he is now. I said, he looks great, but it all comes down to the story. Like, whether or not Sonic looks like he's supposed to, it all comes down to the story of the movies. And his movies had good stories, and well-written characters, and funny jokes. That's the big thing with this movie. This movie may look like the Mario Brothers games, and it looks really good. But it all comes down to the story. The story is what makes or breaks any kind of movie, whether it's animated or not. At the end of the day, this movie, it won't matter if it looks nice. If it doesn't have a good story, it can't stand up on its animation alone. So, that's the big thing. I'm not saying I want this movie to be bad or anything, or I want it to fail. I'm just hoping that it has a good story and great characters to go with the good animation. Everything about it has to be good, not just the animation. It's great that it looks like the games, that's how it's supposed to be, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't have a good story. And that's a thing, because with Mario Brothers, the games, well, not all of them have actual story. I mean, the very first Mario Brothers games and even the other versions, it's basically the same thing. Save the princess from the evil turtle dragon. Big thing. I mean, some of the games like Super Mario Odyssey, they have like fully fleshed out stories, but this is when translating into a movie, it's all about what you're gonna do. Like, what is the big idea here? What are we gonna do? And I guess we'll just find out next year in March when the movie drops. I'm going into this with low expectations because, like I said, the story makes or breaks the movie. I go into it with low expectations, I won't be so disappointed if it turns out to not be good. But I'm hoping it's at least good. Okay, because Pokemon got a good live action movie, Sonic got 2 good live action movies and is getting a 3rd one in 2 years. It's Mario's turn. It's high time Mario finally got a good movie, okay? Because the first one he had was absolute garbage, okay? This is their second try. Let's hope that this time around it's actually good. I'm hoping to at least get an A- grade for this one. So, yeah, that's my thoughts and my reaction to the new Super Mario Brothers movie coming out next year in March. I look forward to it, and when I do see the movie, I might make a review of it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Toshi the Panda, signing out.